What is up, everybody? Hopefully, you are having a fantastic Victory Monday. I've got my son's baseball practice going on right now. I got to go pick him up in about an hour. And I figured, why not do a little film review? Really, for two reasons. One, last week, I ripped the 49ers defense, mostly their scheme. I felt like the scheme was absolute trash. This week, I can tell you, when I watched the game, at least, I felt like the scheme was much better than what it had been. I felt like there was a lot more blitzing. There was a lot more um, showing blitz, simulated pressures, all types of stunts, at least early on. So I want to go back and watch the film. It's one thing to rip them and say, "Hey, you need to do better at disguising coverages and the scheme needs to be better." But what does it look like week to week? And I feel like this week it should look a lot better. But we're going to watch it. We're going to watch the defensive film. And then the other reason for the stream is a donation. Red Cross, those of you that know, Hurricane Helene came through, not only devastated parts of Florida, but devastated the Carolinas, Georgia. There's a ton of damage. And there's a good chance that there's another one headed this way in the next 8 to 10 days or so. We're keeping a close eye on what's going on in the Gulf, but there might be another one coming. It's bad. It is really, really bad. If you've seen any of the stuff, just being out and about, I'm great, but that doesn't mean that everybody's great. And there's a lot of damage. So what I would ask is, normally for those of you that would super chat, I would ask that you donate to the fundraiser. It should be pinned right up there, right under the video. It should say donate. I've already donated $100. That should be showing up in the chat as well. But yeah, instead of giving to me, please give to the fundraiser at hand. Very, very important that, at least for me, that, whenever I can, whenever things happen around the world, and if I can give, then I definitely want to do so. And hopefully you're in a position where you can do the same. So, not required by any means, but instead of giving to me, please, no super chats tonight. Give to the fundraiser at hand. That being said, we're going to jump into a film review, and we're going to do it next. All right. Welcome back to Last Second Sports, where we are giving you our take down to the last second. And like I said, it is a film review night. We got to go over the defense because last week, the defense was atrocious from a schematic standpoint. So we're going to jump right into it. What's up, Steph? Great to see you in here. Appreciate you as well. Much love. Make sure you go check out Steph and her channel. She is awesome. And for those of you that don't know, she also does an incredible Bosa impression that I just can't get enough of. So, and I think if you haven't seen it, that you wouldn't be able to get enough of it either. All right. That being said, let me add this to the stage here, and then let me get the review going. All right. There we go. All right, let's jump into it. So last week, for those of you that watched, if you remember, I was all over the schematics, in particular, the schematics. Wasn't, an effort thing to me. It wasn't a talent thing to me. I mean, some of it, a little bit of effort, and some of the players probably shouldn't be playing. But for the most part, I thought schematically, they were atrocious. Every single time that they rolled coverage, they did it pre-snap. You didn't see 95% of the time, it was 4 men rushing, didn't show any pressure whatsoever. It was just the same thing over and over and over. And if you do that against any quarterback in the NFL, you're going to get eaten alive. But if you do that against Matthew Stafford in particular, he's going to crush your soul. And that's what he did at the end of that game. So this week, the question is, for a team that blitzes the least amount in the NFL, 6.5%, by a wide margin, the least amount, are they doing more this week? Now, I know the percentage was, I think the number was around 15% this week. but the simulated pressures are super important to me as well. So that's what I want to see. What's up, Dan? Speaking of Dan, also in Florida, also like myself, very lucky. He's up north a little bit more, but he'll tell you the devastation here, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia is awful. So again, please do not donate to me. Donate to Red Cross. The link is right there. It's very bold, right below the video. If you turn your phone vertically, I've already donated $100. Please, I don't need the money. Please donate to them, and 100% goes to them. The difference is if you send me a super chat, Google takes a cut. They don't take a cut when you're donating. So please, please, please donate to them instead. All right, let's take a look at this thing. How does it go? All right, so early on, nothing simulated. And it's a run play, so you're not going to see a rolled coverage or anything like that. But they do a good job shooting the gap. Now, also, let's keep in mind that they're going against an offense that is going to run the ball most of the time. And they're going against an offense that was down to their 5th string left tackle, which, just for anybody keeping notes at home, we know that teams don't carry 5 tackles. They've picked up multiple guys off the street. So that's where they're at. They're down to their 2nd string left guard. And then after this drive, Andrews left, and they were down to their 2nd string center. So from the center over, it's atrocious, this offensive line. So less about the result, but more about the scheme. What does it actually look like? That's what we care about. So first play, nothing crazy. Marco says the way we are sending pressure is the wrong way. Sending it from afar is not the right way to get to the quarterback. Yeah, I mean, you usually probably want to send pressure from guys that are tucked up near the line of scrimmage. Maybe squeeze your defensive linemen. Either send people through the A gap or the B gap. Ideally, I agree. So again, nothing special here. Just a basic 4-man front. But they do a good job corralling the run. So the result is good, but schematically, nothing different. Yeah, Campbell did make a good play, Mike. He did. On the previous one you're talking about. Oops. Bro, I honestly, this is not the stream for it, man. I don't really care. We're watching defense, and the only reason I'm streaming tonight is because I'm trying to get donations for the hurricane relief. You can razz me about Brock another day. I don't really care. Read the room, please. All right, so here we go. Immediately, when they get into a passing down, immediately, already, this is what I'm talking about. Look at this. Look at all these players around the line of scrimmage. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 showing pressure. 7 could potentially blitz here. I love this. Well, really, and Lenore could go too. He's close enough. 8. Look at that. Now they only send 4. But look at what you get here. A lot of confusion. You got 3 guys on 1, and you've got an extra person staying in to block. That's perfect. That is perfect. Now you got to drop off. They got to dump off quick because they're worried about the pressure. Exactly what you want to see, man. That's exactly what you want to see. Yeah, Moonman, listen, I don't necessarily fully trust the defense either. And I'm not going to get excited after one game. But to me, schematics can carry over week to week. They can carry over week to week. Saying pause when what? Pause when the ball snap. Check out Campbell versus Fred. Opens his hips to get depth. Campbell likes to backpedal at times, and he's slow at it. Okay, let's check a look. So you got Campbell here. You got Fred here. Ah, look at that. I like that. That's a good catch by you. Very good catch by you. You don't want to backpedal. You don't want to backpedal on a basketball court. If you're center field, you don't want to backpedal if the ball's going past you. You definitely want to open your hips. In fact, that's like one of the first things that I taught for my son's flag football team is how to get into your zone drops and opening your hips to do so. So that's interesting. That's a good catch by you. Very good catch by you. Good defense there by Charvarius Ward. You know, going into this game, when he was targeted, 114 passer rating. Look at that. This right here again. Again. Look at this. Already twice. The first two passing plays, you've seen it. Shows a late blitz. Love this. Look at that. Already. Much better. Much better. Yeah, sometimes, man. Sometimes. I appreciate that third string. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. I see what you're saying. I appreciate you, bro. I do. But by all means, you can razz me tomorrow. I'll be back again tomorrow. You can razz me tomorrow. I'm totally fine with that stuff, man. I don't get listen, I don't mind people talking trash or whatever. I just you know what I mean? Like tonight's not the night. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, this is true. This is another thing that we talked about. They're playing some of the young guys. You love to see it. I was surprised that when Hufanga didn't play, that Malik Mustafa was the one. You know what I mean? That was good to see. But here you go again. Look at all these people up the line. Doesn't this just look better? Like, don't you just feel more confident in a team that's gonna send pressure or at least simulate pressure? I mean, the Minnesota Vikings are a great example of this. 3 weeks in a row, they played Brock Purdy, who I have is the 10th best quarterback in the league. They played Jordan Love, who I had going into the season as the 11th best quarterback in the league. They played CJ Stroud, who I had is the 7th best quarterback in the league going into the season. So, regardless of where you have those guys, you have two of them probably in your top 10, maybe all three. And if not, you've got them all borderline top 10 quarterbacks. Look at what Minnesota has done to all three of those guys. You do realize that all three of them had 2 turnovers, at least 2 turnovers against the Minnesota Vikings. They beat all three of them, and all three of them looked pedestrian against them. Pedestrian. So it's like, to me, like, why reinvent things? What they're doing is working. Steal from them shamelessly. Steal from them shamelessly. So, yeah, listen, I mean, sometimes you're going to show pressure and send pressure. I don't, to me, I guess what I'm excited about is that you're showing something that you saw last week, dude. There was no semblance of pressure. I don't mind it. And where are you sending it from? How many are you sending? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, this happens to be, well, it's still cover 1. Well, no, it's probably a cover 0. If the back goes out, technically it would be a cover 0, but he stays. So it's really a cover 1 still. You're not doing a full cover 0. I don't have an issue with it. And they forced multiple people to stay back. It looks like the tight end might have stayed back as well. Yeah, look at that. They move him in to help on Bosa. So it ends up really being pretty well covered on the back end. Now, obviously, if they had sent those guys out, it could have gotten crazy. So Yeah, I don't know that it's necessarily because he was out. I think it's because exactly what we're talking about. I mean, just look at schematically this week versus last week. I mean, it's night and day. I mean, they're loading the heck out of the box, knowing that the run's most likely coming. And again, you're going against an offensive line that was completely reworked from the center over. So I don't know. It's tough for me to say. I want to see it week in and week out. I would say if we're judging, we would want to judge on Givens, and he's going against a backup left guard. I know it's one play, but he kind of got owned there. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's pretty good, dude. I'm very impressed with Malik Collins. I agree. I agree. Um, I haven't checked it out, but I will. I definitely will. So for those of you again that are just joining, I've got a hurricane relief Red Cross donation attached to the video. It should be right under the video if you've got your phone vertically. I'm going to show you guys kind of what it looks like. Here, let me see if I can pull up the live here so that you guys can see. But I've donated $100, and instead of giving me super chats tonight, please donate if you can. But when you pull it up here, you've got the video and then you've got the chat. If you close the chat, you'll see that there's a hurricane relief. It's literally like a 2-click donate. Whether it's $1, $5, whatever you can would be great. And then, you know, at the very least, if you were going to super chat instead of super chatting, just help them out, please, if you could. Okay. And we're watching defensive film tonight because last week we watched defensive film and I wanted to see if there was improvement as far as the schematics go. Now, I will say, statistically, I think the run defense held up better, but there were still times, man, where the run defense was leaky for sure. But schematically, what we've seen early on, much better. Much better. Me too, man. Me too. It looks like there's another one headed this direction. And for those people that are not safe and are in a bad spot tonight, it could get worse. It could happen again very soon. So it's a bad situation, man. Really bad situation. And it's devastation all the way through the Carolinas, which is crazy for a hurricane to do that. Yeah, Coach P, I agree. Young players and pressure was great to see. Mm. Look at that. Look at that. Is that our guy Yadam? Isaac Yadam finally in good coverage? Jeez, look at that. Nice, bud. Nice. Not even mad at that. See if we got any rolled coverage or anything. That's the other thing too, right? I want to give them credit for changing because they did. But I want to know what it looks like going forward because the Patriots in particular, with all the injuries they have on the offensive line and knowing what the Jets did the week before and blitzing the heck out of them, it was pretty clear that that was the answer. You know what I mean? Like it was so clear that that was the answer. I want to see if it carries over. It's also easy to have guts and blitz when you don't have to worry about a pass game and you certainly don't have to play too high against these guys. Like there's nothing to worry about. It makes life a lot easier. A lot easier. Oh, this was the strip here. Nice. Okawanu, man. Love it. Love it. Love it. So awesome. So happy for him. He was really good in training camp. Like really, really good in training camp. If you remember, Coach and I were talking about him a lot. Now we couldn't pronounce his name then, but we were definitely talking about him a lot. Definitely talking about him a lot. Okay, look at that. Showing blitz, and then they do blitz. They send 5. I mean, just a lot better than last week. A lot better. Yeah, I mean, these are guys. There's something to be said for that. You know, when guys are young and hungry and just trying to make it in this league. I mean, look at the best players this year. You got Brock, who's last pick in the draft. You got Mason, who what was he? Is he undrafted? I don't remember. I feel like he was undrafted. You've got Lenore, late round pick, fighting for a contract. You've got Jennings, 7th round pick. What was Lenore? 5th? So yeah, I mean, I would say the most consistent players outside of Fred, obviously. Pooney, 3rd round rookie. He's not getting paid a ton. Like, have been the younger players and guys that were picked late. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. But there's something to be said for that. I mean, that's a real thing. Now, you'd like to see Okawano hold the edge better. He crashes in pretty tough. Right? Like, that's on him to hold that edge and not allow that guy to get around him. But he'll learn. He'll learn. I also want to know what it looks like from him with a mobile quarterback as well. I mean, that's like one of the biggest complaints over the years, right? Is are these guys able to hold an edge on a mobile quarterback? We're gonna find out next week. We're gonna find out next week for sure. Oh, gosh, how do you not see Fred? But I do. Again, I love this look. I love this look. Now Brissett's got to know Fred's dropping out. He's doing it before he snaps the ball. He's got to recognize that. He's got to recognize that. And if he's more patient, look at what opens up over here. But trying to throw behind him, you got here and here that are much easier throws. Instead, he's going back here right where Fred dropped. I mean, that's just an awful, awful pick on his part. Great play by Fred, though, man. Fred's kind of nice. Fred's kind of nice. I mean, he's kind of a one-man defense. Yeah, right. I feel like it'll work, man. I feel like it'll work. I know, like, Ryan had talked about this offseason. It's like, I like the fact that there's 30 plus guys going into free agency next year. And it's like, well, I mean, on the surface, yes. But I think when guys are going into potential big paydays or their last final payday, I think guys can make business decisions. Like, if they're hurt, instead of pushing through, like when a guy's hurt and he's trying to make a team, he's gonna play. If he can play, he'll play. But if a guy's hurt and he's trying to just get that last contract, chances are he's making a business decision. He's like, I'm going to sit out a couple games. You know what I mean? Dude, Fred Warner. Fred Warner's got hands of a receiver, man. It's insane. Wait, did Pete Rose really pass too? Dikembe Mutombo and Pete Rose in the same day? Is that for real? I can't confirm right now. That's, dude. Wow. Wow. The Dikembe one really, really caught me off guard. I love Dikembe Mutombo. Yeah, 83, huh? Oh, was that Campbell again? Hold up. Look at Campbell here. Just, bro, come on. They got to get Campbell out of there, dude. He's just not, he's not it. And Kyle said he played well. Did he? Maybe we just haven't seen it yet. I don't. Oh, look. Oh, look. There he is playing well again. Right on cue, Campbell. Right on cue. My gosh. He's just so flat footed, man. He's too slow to be reacting like that. That was the other thing that I noticed in camp, and we talked about it as well. He doesn't like chop his feet. They do a drill where it's basically this. It's you've got a guy with a two-way go. And what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to chop your feet, keep your feet moving. That way you can bounce and go side to side. He like hops. But it's if a guy makes a move and you're midair hopping, you're done. He's just, yeah. Ugh. Campbell, man, Campbell. Mm. Again, they got 5 down. They end up sending 6. I don't technically send 7 here because everybody stays in and blocks. But I don't like these. I feel like you get caught in no man's land. And if a play goes behind you, like look at Fred here. Or no, maybe it wasn't Fred. Here. Who was it? Is it Campbell again? Look at him. I hate that. I've seen Fred do this too. It's like a schematic thing, but look at this. He like blitzes and then stop. He's just caught in no man's land. If a guy was running a route behind him, he's toast, man. So you're effectively not blitzing fully and helping get pressure on the quarterback. And you're also not in coverage. You're just kind of stuck in limbo. I don't know if that was a him thing or what, but like, why? Just go, man. Go. Now I get it if Brissett's super mobile and you're worried about him busting around the edge, like sure, but not Brissett, dude. Who cares? Just go. Go get him. So this was something I noticed last week too that I wasn't a fan of. Like if you're gonna roll coverage, you gotta like truly roll coverage post snap. I hate that you're dropping back before the snap and showing exactly what you're gonna do. I hate that. These quarterbacks are too good. Too good. Like imagine trying to confuse a starting NFL quarterback and you're just showing what you're going to do pre-snap. They did it all last week too. And it seems to be usually, yeah, they didn't even send anybody in motion. But last week, Stafford kept sending people in motion. And every time he did, it was like instantly they started dropping into their zones. Okay. So you got 4 again. Super duper wide 9. Okay. Just trying to figure out why Campbell. So Campbell's dropping out with the running back. Got it. Those bunch routes, man, they've been really, really, really hard for the 49ers to stop this year, huh? I mean, these guys are just getting open on a regular basis in bunch routes. Last week we saw it. Fred just. I remember actually seeing that during the game. Look at Fred, dude. He just levels this poor guy. Just, oh my gosh. I love it. That's awesome. Fred just crushes him. Mm. I just hate seeing a fifth string left tackle, a backup center, and a backup guard open up running lanes like that, man. That is a little disheartening. I'm not going to lie. A little disheartening. Dude. I mean, where is Campbell going right now? What gap are you? I mean, okay. Campbell's awful. Campbell's really bad. How do you get caught on your defensive lineman's back hip? Okay. I noticed multiple people were wearing the caps this week too. Oh, that was cool to see. They don't look as bad as what you would think they would. Anderson's a big boy. He's a big boy. He does a good job there, man. Drives his guy into the backfield, makes Stevens dance a little bit. Or actually, that was Hasty, wasn't it? Third down and Hasty. I didn't even know he was still in the league until they announced his name. Is that Hasty? Yeah, dude. Anderson. He looks good. He looks really good. They need it. They need it, man. They need to find some depth here. Campbell's so big too, man. He's just so big. It's like, but he lacks everything. Like, I don't know. He lacks everything. So again, here you are pre-snap. I mean, there's just no need for it, man. Just hold for half a second, then drop back. Like, what are the Patriots really doing that is threatening you downfield? What have they done to threaten you downfield? What are you so worried about? Like, wait to back up post snap. Try to disguise some of this stuff. Hell of a play by Lenore, though. Gosh, dude. He's good. Gosh. Again, man, they're just falling back into the same old, same old. Just four down linemen, dropping back before the snap, making it obvious what you're doing. It's the same thing they did all last week. Now, luckily, they're going against an awful, awful, awful offensive line, and they're able to just get pressure with four. But they started out so good. They were hiding everything. And now they're just like in this funk where they're hiding nothing, it seems like. I mean, that's not even. And that's such a fake, like, weak show of a blitz from Fred. Come on. There's not even. They weren't even worried about it. That was too easy. They held up perfect there. They knew it was coming. Receiver is not aware of the first down. That's what happens. Good job. Good job. Look at that. Hell yeah. Collins, man. So you got Collins, Elliott, and Givens all up front here. Dude. Collins, man, he's a bully. He does this every single week, man. Look at that move. He's so quick for his size. And he's one of the few guys not going up against backups. I mean, look at these guys over here going against the backups. They don't get hardly any movement. Oh, good old Malik Collins, man. He gets the pressure, allows Fred to swoop around him. That's beautiful. That looks like why am I Justin Smith, man. Justin Smith. Remember when he used to just free up Alden Smith? Just take two guys and drive them down the middle of the line so that Alden Smith could loop around. That's what that looked like. That was beautiful. Beautiful. That was much better. I mean, Campbell's just kind of slow, but he actually does a good job flowing over there that time. I should say a better job. Thank goodness Fred was there to actually clean up. I know you're right, Marco. You're right. When I have to praise like the fact that he was able to move his feet and kind of be in position, it's not ideal. I agree. I agree. I don't know, y'all. I mean, you tell me. I feel like they've fallen right back into the same thing they did last week. Early on, lots of blitzing, lots of simulated pressures, but they've just kind of stopped. There we go. Okay, look at that. Right on cue. Perfect. Look at this. Okay. I see you. A late blitz too. Good timing by Fred. And look at the problems it causes. Look at the confusion, man. Look at the confusion. Brissett probably expected the same old, same old. You send the pressure, you confuse the line. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. It doesn't get better than that. That's what I'm talking about. And especially when you have a guy like Fred Warner, right? That can cover so much ground as a linebacker. I feel like he's just a cheat code. There's no reason, whether it's him or if you want to send somebody else and just allow him to cover a big space, like you've got the luxury of a Fred Warner to just eat up space. Now I get it if this was the second half and Fred was out of the game, but he's still in there. Like allow him to be the space eater. Was that is that gonna be Collins again? I mean, listen, I know that I think the left guard was out, but Collins is bro. He's good. He's good. Yeah, we're on defense, man. We're on defense. Sorry. I had to do D. I know offense is like the better. I would rather review offensive film as well, but defensively, I just felt like after last week, we had to see if there was improvement as far as the schematics go. Um, and there has been, but it's not as consistent as what you would like to be for sure. And I still wonder if it's because the Jets were able to do dude Collins again. I mean, every single time he's incredible. But knowing what the Jets were able to do last week, you kind of had to follow up with more blitzing. I'm curious to see if that holds up. But dude, Collins is wow, unbelievable. My gosh, man. He's so good, dude. He's so good. I mean, it's like every single down at this point, he's just feeling it. He's insane, man. Yeah, I mean, I thought so too, but he hasn't really. He's been one of the worst pass rushers statistically in the league. One of the worst. I like the thought of him and what I thought he would bring, and maybe he'll improve, but he just hasn't been that deal so far this year. And again, I hate seeing a left side that is so depleted open up running lanes this easily. Sometimes it's so frustrating to watch. I mean, he doesn't even get touched for 10 yards. I mean, not ideal. Not ideal. And that was better. Bosa did a good job there, coming around the edge. But still, those guys up front are getting bullied. That's the first time I've seen Collins get kind of thrown around a little bit. He's double teamed, to be fair. But yeah, I mean the run defense is still, you know, this is where I think teams bail out the 49ers is when you start playing sideline to sideline. That's exactly what plays into the 49ers' hands. I mean, they're way too fast to play that style of offense against. You start going sideline to sideline, especially when Fred's in there. Good luck. Good freaking luck. You just it's not a thing. You want to play smash mouth, run the ball up the middle, duos, just hard nosed football, play after play after play after play. Mix in play action to slow them down. I feel like when teams go sideline to sideline, it just gets them in trouble against 49ers. And the 49ers this year have been a really good tackling team as well. Man, Bosa was chasing that dang sack all second half. Dude, that was so crazy. Every single drop back for a while. Didn't it seem like Bosa was getting back there? And then it was just, they finally realized, like, it's a fifth string left tackle. Oh, okay. Maybe instead of moving him to the left side of the defense, we'll just have him play on the right side. Maybe that's what we should do. Is just allow our $34 million a year pass rusher to go against a fifth string left tackle and just eat. That was a good play call. I'm not going to lie. That was a good play call. That was a really good play call. But again, play action, right? We talk about this team speed, the defensive team speed. Use it against them. Like, use it against them. Make them play fast upfield and then get themselves out of position like they do here. I mean, it's easier said than done. I get it. There's a lot of good players on this defense. I'm just saying, going sideline to sideline without play action is not ideal if you're an offensive coordinator. Just, dude, they finally realized, like, oh, this left tackle is awful. Perfect. Just go after him. Oh, easy. Oh my. Oh, Gawanu, dude. Look at that move. Oh, just buries Brissett. Buries him. Now look, it works out there. Okay. But you tell me. I would say 9 times out of 10, if you see a front like this, and we saw it multiple times last week and it didn't work. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blockers. You basically can go hat for a hat. I don't know. I would move these guys up. And I'd move these guys up as well. I mean, what are you worried about? Are you really worried about these tight ends getting behind your secondary? Like, is that the concern? Is that's the concern, that you're going to drop into a 2 shell in an obvious run situation? Like, again, they got lucky. Someone got free because they're double teaming here and they're double teaming here, but they really could have gone hat on a hat. Any healthy offensive line would have been a big run. They would have been gashed. And last week it happened multiple times. Like, you're so worried about this Patriots team going downfield on you that you're dropping into two deep shells. And again, that's not a play. That's not the players. That's a coaching thing. Now, maybe he's got options. That's a possibility. Maybe he read it wrong and he is supposed to, but to me, that's a coaching thing. It's not a player thing. Great play, sniffing that one out too. Jair Brown does good job here. Ooh. Oh, dude. Wow. Nice job, Jair. Nice job. All right, listen, I got to leave here in a few minutes to go get my son from practice. So we're going to watch a few more plays here. But if you haven't seen it and maybe you're able to do so, ooh, maybe you're able to do so. But there is a donation that we're doing tonight to Red Cross for the hurricane relief. For those of you that don't know, it looks like there's another one headed potentially in this direction in the next week. And a lot of people are already going through devastation. So if you can, if you're in a spot, listen, I know it's tight for everybody right now. So no expectations at all, but if you can donate, that would be awesome. I donated $100 to start the stream. So if you can give anything, $1, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Everything really, truly does help. And we had Marco in the chat earlier. He actually works for nonprofits and stuff that help with hurricane relief. And he'll tell you the government's done an awful job with this whole thing, not only local government, but national government. There just doesn't seem to be a great plan in place to help these people out. And they need a relief badly. So anything you can do to help would be awesome. All right. So again, you've got what looks to be a pretty obvious run situation. And if I'm an offense and I see a 2-high shell and a light 7-man box with the linebackers pushed back, I'm running against that. I'm running against that. And you can see, I mean, it's, 4 yards before contact. Now they do a good job of standing them up, but again, when running backs are getting 4 or 5, 10 yards before they're even getting touched, like one missed tackle is all it takes. You know what I mean? One missed tackle is all that it takes. Yeah. So if you look, like, if you turn your phone vertically and you close the chat, the link is right there. The link is right there. It literally is like a big donate button. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Gab. That's so dope of you. That's super dope of you. Right now, see, they're figuring it out. They're like, all right, they're clearly running. But look at that. Look at how many people are. You've got 10 right there, right near the line of scrimmage. That's a last play. You have 7. You got a 2-high shell, and it's 4.5 yards before contact. Now you literally have 10 in the box because what are you scared of with the Patriots? Right? What are you really, truly scared of with the Patriots taking the top off? And you're right there. Boom. It allows your defensive linemen to flow with aggression because they know they've got help behind them. It's a whole different deal there. Whole different deal. Also, probably don't want a wide receiver blocking a defensive lineman. I'm just throwing that out there too, but you know what I mean. That left tackle, I feel, dude, 5th string left tackle. Good luck, man. Good luck. Good freaking luck. All right, y'all. Listen, I really, really, really appreciate y'all. Those that were able to donate to Red Cross, thank you so much. everything really does help. I really appreciate this community. You guys know that this channel doesn't exist without y'all. And we've done these throughout the last couple years, and it always feels really, really good to donate and see the community donate and come together. So for those of you that were able to help, thank you so much. And I'm sorry we couldn't get through all the film, but I do got to go get my son from baseball practice. But I want to say much love. And maybe tomorrow we'll do a call in, or maybe we'll review the offense. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but I do know that Sunil is not able to join us tomorrow. So you guys let me know. As soon as the stream ends, leave a comment on the video. Let me know. Would you want to review the offense, or should we do a call in? You guys let me know. I really, really appreciate y'all. Much love. Stay blessed. Enjoy Monday Night Football, and we'll talk soon. Peace.